Welcome back to the Marvelous Chats. I'm here with the boys Finto and Hoffman, and we're going to be talking about The Boys episode 6, Herogasm. Before we explode and give you a load of
Oh
information,
my god.
How dare you, sir?
if you like the show, please leave a like. Give us a comment about what you think about what we're going to talk about, and subscribe, please. It helps grow the channel. Anyways,
Oh my god.
What'd you guys think about the episode?
That was the best intro we've ever had on the channel. Let's just say that before we even go anywhere. Hoffman,
I didn't even see it
start
coming.
us
Episode 6 of The Boys. Man, this is like the best episode of The Boys I think that we have ever had. This is something that I feel like there's so many storylines in The Boys from season 1 until now that like everything was leading up into this episode. This is like the fulfillment of like the A-Train storyline, of the Homelander arc, Starlight, like everything, like it was just a culmination here. Like it was so good. I loved all the over the top fight scenes, all the over the top sex scenes, which was crazy. And more than both of those, I thought the character moments were amazing in this. You know, one of the big highlights for me is Mother's Milk and Starlight sitting in the car talking to each other.
Yeah.
Seeing Mother's Milk and oh my god, who's the main boy? How am I forgetting his name? Butcher. Yes, Butcher. Like their moment together was amazing, and showing that Butcher still like really loves this guy, and is like just he's doing it because it's a means to the end, and he doesn't want Mother Milk to get hurt. Like I love that stuff. So this for me is some of the best television I think I've ever watched. It's honestly a 10 out of 10 episode for me. Love it. Love it. Love it.
Yeah, I gotta agree. Fantastic, god tier TV, like really is. You know, I saw a meme during the week, and it was like, you know, it was like the boys on one side and Miss Marvel on the other, and it was just like yin and like just so different, like yin and yang. And it is so true. Like, you know, Miss Marvel compared to this is nothing. Like, you know, the boys is just so on point. It's the perfect TV show. We get like the right amount of episodes, the right length episodes. We've got all the gore, we've got all the fucking sex, you've got everything that you want in a TV show, all there, and proper characters, proper character development. These like what you said, like these proper storylines where you just have two people sitting in a car having a conversation, and you are properly impaled, just engrossed in the story, you know, like, and you could just sit there and watch it. And the same with Butcher, like when he put his hand on him, you could see like Marvin knows at that moment, oh, he's taking his powers, he's strong, like, you know, and then he just knows he can't do anything, but still throws the hands up, he still wants to fight. Like, it's just beautiful. It's beautiful. And then, like, you know, for the whole series, I've been asking myself, because I think I heard, like, not that it was like a leak or anything, but I heard that I think Jensen Ackles said in an interview, or it might have been Kripke, or one of the guys who were involved in making the show, had said before the show came out that Soldier Boy was going to make Homelander look like a Boy Scout. And that's been in the back of my head the whole time watching the show. I'm like, how powerful is Soldier Boy? What are we going to see here? So when that big fight happened at the end, I was actually surprised to see how well Homelander did in that fight, because I thought he was going to get his ass kicked and he was going to have to flee. Now, he did flee at the very end, but he was kind of pinned down, and you know, he kind of didn't have an option. He had to leave. But until that moment, he was fucking the three of them up. Like, he was doing his job. Like, it was very impressive. Very impressive. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And just even everything about that episode, like, you know, like the Herogasm was just crazy. It was wild. You know, like some truly disturbing moments in it. I think the woman gets like a ice shaped like dildo stuffed into her at one point, which was just like bizarre. And the bit with the camera in the toilet, and we see the dude's fucking asshole. Like, I was like, I just saw into that guy's soul. Like, I was like, Jesus Christ. Like, it was just so, like, I was like, I've never seen anything like that, like, on TV before. Like, just a giant ball sack and an asshole, like, just right in my fucking face. I'm watching it on a 60-inch TV. Like, I'm just like, Jesus Christ, my eyes. You know, it was just grim. But it's just, it does what the show does. The show is here to absolutely shock and appall us. And every week it does that. It does exactly what it says on the tin, you know? So, yeah, I loved it. Loved the A-Train story, that he just kind of snapped and, you know, had to kill Blue Hawk. Which was deserved in my eyes. Like, the guy's a fucking piece of shit. He deserved to go. I just loved how he killed him. He dragged him along the ground. It was as graphic as the rest of the show. You know, lives up to the hype. And obviously then, you know, him using his own powers, it's like his heart's about to explode. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with him there. And then as well, obviously, like, you know, Huey had some good moments in it as well. I thought we might have seen Marvin using some temporary V himself. I want to see him get some powers. I think he's gonna realize. I think he realizes now he has to. I know he chooses not to, but I think now he knows he has to. So
Yeah, I agree.
yeah. Just
Yeah.
loved every aspect of it. I loved as well at the very end with Starlight going live on. You know, they mentioned that she had like 191 million followers or something. So she's like, she's going to use her media like outlet and control, and she just literally went on, put everyone on blast, and quit the Seven. So, you know, how many of them are left? The Seven, you know, because as well we had Black Noir cut out his chip and ran. You know, so it's like we're down to what, 4 now.
Yeah.
So I don't know what's going to happen with the Seven.
Yeah, this has been an insane turn of events, and I think that this was the best episode that they leave us on a cliffhanger for. Like, it's just everything was just popping off. Everything was just insane. I felt so bad for Frenchie. I felt so bad for Kimiko. Like, I know that they're trying to redeem themselves and, you know, make things better. Little Nina escaped, so that's scary because we don't know if she's going to try to come back and take them out. I don't want these characters to die, but if I had to choose, I kind of feel bad to say, but I think Frenchie should go because I don't want Marvin to die. Like, he's got so much to live for right now.
Yeah.
He's gone through so much shit, and I don't want him to go. But it's starting to feel like we're getting close to a point where one of the boys is going to die.
Yeah.
And it's going to be really sad.
Or
sure,
Kimiko could go because she doesn't have powers anymore. You know, and then I think it's like a repercussion of, like, you know, it's not good to lose your power. You need to keep your power, like, you know.
Right. Yeah, but at the same time, losing Frenchie also would like make her feel this moment of like regret. Like, I could have done something had I not given up who like I was. And, you know, she's trying not to be a monster, and she's not. But like, she's trying so hard not to that she's making herself look like one.
Yeah.
It's so tough.
Yeah. And, you know, I think the whole Kimiko storyline has really taken a character who never really had like too much character development. Like, they tried to have the storyline with her and her brother from like the earlier seasons. And this one, like, she's really taken on and shouldered a whole arc of the season. And her texting Frenchie, thinking she's texting him, having anxiety that like she's mad or he's mad at her, like, was so heartbreaking. You know, getting Frenchie's backstory and why he's the way he is was a great moment. Like, I am shocked how this show that is at its core, it's like people got turned on by it because of all the gore and stuff. And like, this is how superheroes are, you know, aren't seen all the time. That this show has so much more heart than like all the MCU, right? All the DC, like all the characters are so much more well-rounded and real. And you feel for who they are and why they became who they are. It is just such impressive writing from the top to the bottom. You know, I'm constantly amazed by the writing of the show. Love it. It's tremendous.
Yeah, I would watch the show all year long if I could. You know, if they made 20 episodes a season, I just think that they would just constantly put out incredible stuff. Even filler episodes, the characters are so well written, the story's so well told that even if they did like filler episodes, they wouldn't be filler episodes in this show. That's how good it is. It's Sopranos tier. It's, you know, Tony sitting talking to his therapist and you're just glued to the TV. You can't believe what you're watching. That's the level of TV that we're at. It's that next step. It's like HBO in their heyday. Like, it's you know what I mean? It's that level.
Yeah.
It's just incredibly compelling.
Yeah.
And just those moments of like, although there's this wacky shit going on in the background, there's all this heartfelt shit going on in the foreground. And then there's these intense moments of like, you don't know, like if Homelander is getting taken out right now, you know, of course, although Soldier Boy expelled all of his energy, like at that one point when he had an attack, and you know, you could tell that he was clearly out of energy, and so Homelander was going to get away. And plus, we have 2 more episodes to go through.
Yeah.
But for the fact that if Soldier Boy had not exploded beforehand, you know, he might have been able to go toe to toe with Homelander at full power. But for the fact that like Homelander looks at Butcher just getting up and he's like, what the fuck?
That was such a good moment, dude. And the eyes light up and he's like, what have you done? It was fucking epic, bro. It was epic. Yeah, it was so good.
that whole fight scene was just amazing. Part of like, first off, Soldier Boy is like my favorite character they've introduced to the boys. The way Jason Ankles plays this guy is just fucking so good. Like he is spot on. Makes you believe he's this character. I love his presence. I love his voice for this character. I love that they did show like Homelander is a little bit stronger than him, right? Like he's more super, but like Soldier Boy is like a more tactical fighter. Like when he goes to get like his eyes, he's about to laser him, and he like just kind of uppercuts him to like move his head.
Yeah,
like that. It's that type of fighting that's like really fun to see between superheroes.
Yeah,
where it's like people who are weaker can be a little bit more tactical. And I really hope this season doesn't end with us losing Soldier Boy, because they've always kind of wrapped the villain up in one season. Because I feel like there's so much more for Soldier Boy, because as much as I like him now, like we haven't truly seen how much of a piece of shit he is, right? Like they're laying the seeds for that, where he doesn't like anything that's modern. He sees two guys on the street and he like makes a face about it. Like we haven't seen why everyone hates him yet. We're just getting those little nuggets of that people do.
Yeah.
So I hope they bring him into season 4 of The Boys, because his character is I love his character, man. I love his portrayal of Soldier Boy. Better than a lot of people saying better than the comic books.
Hot take. I'm going to make a prediction. So what I think is going to happen is this season is going to end. They're going to take out, but not kill. They're going to take out Homelander, and Soldier Boy is going to take over the Seven. And when they do, when this happens, they're going to realize that he's he's actually worse than Homelander. And what we're going to do is we're going to get a season 4, and it's going to be Soldier Boy at the top, and then Homelander's probably going to have to work with the boys to take him out. It's been my prediction all along, but I really think that that's what's actually going to happen. I think we're going to end out season 3. The boys are going to think, yay, we won. We got rid of Homelander. He's no longer the leader of the Seven. Maybe he's like disappears. They might think they've killed him, but he's not dead or something like that. And then they realize that, okay, no, this is the real bad guy in Soldier Boy. I saw Kripke mentioned during the week. I was just reading an interview with him there. Kripke's the developer of the show. He also developed Supernatural as well, so he's very close with Jensen. He says he's also in talks. He wants to bring Jeffrey Dean Morgan in for season 4. They've had a conversation about it already. Jeffrey Dean Morgan plays Sam and Dean's father on Supernatural, so there's that connection there between them all. And he said even if he could get Jared Padalecki in, who played Sam on the show and was Jensen's brother, he's like, I'd have him in a heartbeat as well. So if they can get him, I think it'd be ridiculous if they were all in it, but I'd love to see even Jared show up in a very small capacity, like a little small like cameo role or something. I think it would just be fantastic.
I had kind of a kick just seeing him eating like a hamburger in a hotel room.
Yeah,
like I know they had to be on the set like that.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. Absolutely. But then they have to throw the boys sprinkle on it, so he's like crushing up stuff and snorting it.
Yeah, like the benzos.
He's like, yeah, these things got us through the Cold War.
What's one of the best things about the show too is that they're bringing in actors and actresses who are just, who they are. So when you see them, you're like, oh, that's so cool. And I love those little tidbits right there, because it's not necessary. You can have whoever you want, but seeing, Seth Rogen in the previous episode.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Like that was fantastic.
I didn't need it either, but as I said last week, if I was going to see Seth Rogen in the show, that makes perfect sense to be what he'd be up to in the show. It was perfectly done.
But wouldn't it have been really weird though if he had shown up at Herogasm? Like if he just signed up for like one more episode as another cameo,
just beaten in the corner or something. Oh my god.
I think one of the things I really love about The Boys is that I have this problem with Disney Plus. I talk about it on our videos, where it's like they always like have the big moment at the end of the season. Like and we just got done watching Kenobi. Darth Vader and Kenobi have their big blowout fight at the very end, right? In Hawkeye, we have the big blowout fight where we get introduced to Kingpin at the very end, and then like the season's over. Same thing with like Moon Knight. It's like the big thing happened at the end, the season's over. And it's like The Boys, like their huge episode is episode 6 of the season. And so now we got like 2 more episodes after this huge episode where so much happened.
Yeah. And
like the big pillars of the show were fighting each other now. And like, Starlight leaves the 7 on Disney Plus. That would have been the end of the season, but now we got like 2 more episodes to really dig into like what that means and like what's the fallout from that.
Yeah.
And that's something that I think that Amazon Prime shows actually do really well. And they really let their writers do that type of stuff where they're not limiting them on episodes.
Yeah.
It's like have your big moment and then have like the fallout that like it's that is stuff that really makes good TV, makes me want to keep watching shows. And I love that the boys were able to do that for this season.
Yeah.
One of the big questions I have about this though is like, how do you think the teams are going to be now? Because Huey and Annie have split up, essentially. You know, Annie's quit. Annie's with Marvin now, Mother's Milk. Where do you think Frenchie is going to go with Annie and Marvin? Do you think he's going to try to shack up with Soldier Boy, Butcher, and Huey? What do you think it's going to be? Because I think it's going to be with Marvin and Annie, because essentially you want to have even teams, right?
I think what's going to happen is, and it's kind of going back to what I was originally saying, but I really think that Soldier Boy is going to become such a threat that there won't be other teams. It'll be everybody versus Soldier Boy. I think that's where it's going to end. And I think he's going to use that reactor blast again, and he might heal one of the 7 or somebody, or, you know, he might, maybe it's Homelander. I pray it's not, though, because, like, honestly, I know you're meant to hate Homelander, but, like, I love him. I think he's such an amazing character. He's, like, such a badass. And, like, I'm watching it going, like, this dude is Superman if he was evil, and it's just so fun to watch. You know, him just using all the powers and being cocky and not giving a shit. It's incredible. It's incredible. So I pray he doesn't lose his power, but I think, like, someone might lose their power. Maybe A-Train. Because I think if A-Train, it would make the most sense if it was A-Train, because he's the one person that has power, but if he continues to use it, he's going to kill himself. So I think if he gets shot with that reactor thing, he's going to just be healed and be a man, and he could just go off and then, you know, do his own work to, you know, try and, like, correct what happened with his brother and stuff. He kind of has a story outside of the 7, outside of being a hero. You know, he's got the whole community and all the Black Lives Matter stuff. And I think that'd be a good sidestep for a character like him. Whereas I don't think that they should take powers away from somebody as important as Homelander.
I think I got the vibe that A-Train was dead at the end of the episode.
I don't think
Yeah.
I think we're meant to believe that, but I don't think he will be. I think he'll still, because again, if you think about it, if he is dead, they've killed A-Train, they've killed Blue Hawk, Starlight's left the 7, and Black Noir's ran away. That's a lot of, like, exits in one episode. I really think that they're going to keep A-Train for a little bit, because if you think about it, the 7 is what? The Deep and Homelander.
Yeah,
That's it, like, you know, because Maeve's gone. Maeve's, I know Maeve's not dead. Like, I'd be shocked if she was. She's gonna definitely make a comeback, but, you know, from a team point of view right now, she's gone as well. So it's literally just the Deep and Homelander,
Yeah.
and they're not going to be able to defend themselves, because the Deep, as funny as he is, like, I've never seen him do anything in the show, superhero, like, you know,
yeah.
he doesn't do
I mean-
anything.
I mean, you don't gotta take shots at Aquaman like that. You know what I mean? Like, the man's not near the water.
Well, to be fair, Aquaman, like, you know, he has the trident and he's a fighter, and he's, you know, like, he does a lot of, like, stuff out of the water, whereas it seems like the Deep can't do anything out of the water.
Yeah, true.
Except fuck fish.
Oh god, and
Yeah.
yeah, I think that where the show is going is, like, we're gonna see Homelander lose his powers because of Soldier Boy, but I don't think it's gonna kill him. And then I think we're gonna be left on a cliffhanger of Kimiko's powers coming back, where we find out that, like, Soldier Boy, yeah, like, people can regenerate their powers if they have regenerative abilities, like Kimiko does, which, like, Homelander, like, possibly does, because, you know, he's kind of a Superman parallel. So I think that's where the show's gonna go. I also, you know, we haven't heard from Stan Edgar. They've been very conscious about keeping Stan Edgar off screen. And, you know, he's somebody who always has a plan, who's always working behind the scenes to have something going on.
Yeah.
And I think he's going to kind of bring Soldier Boy to power and to be in charge of the 7. I think he's going to facilitate that because he knows Soldier Boy from the past. Like, they've worked together.
Hell yeah.
So
I like it.
Well, I think that wraps it up for this episode, guys. So if you liked what we were talking about, please give us a comment, subscribe to the channel, helps us grow, and give us a like.
yeah, splooge that subscription button.
It's free. See you in the next video,
All over
guys. It's been a pleasure.
See ya.
Bye.
Later.